We should be starting in a short while, but in the meantime,
under the Big Four agenda, the government has committed itself to an ambitious plan of providing affordable housing. It seeks to do this through the construction of 500,000 housing units by the year 2022. It is with the foresight of plugging into the opportunity that Kara held its third Business Expo and Conference today. Chief of Staff and Head of Presidential Delivery Unit, Nzioka Waita, who was the chief guest at the forum, broke down the Affordable Housing Action Plan to the attendees.
We have two sorts of houses. Within this 500,000, we have broken it into 20%, which will be social housing. And by social housing, we mean the people who are paying rent today of 3,000, 5,000 to 10,000 shillings. Those are people who are in need of a government intervention, both in terms of the security of where they stay, the infrastructure for common services, lighting, access for safety. Those people are communities. We cannot pretend that we are going to live here with all these mass urban settlements and not do something about it. So that is one end. Then we have affordable housing, which makes the bulk of our low-income to middle-class homes. Who does not want to own a home?
And we generate over...
Representing the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Housing and Urban Development, the Housing Secretary, Patrick Butcher, highlighted that the State Department is considering the use of technology in attaining quality and affordable housing units.
With regard to technology, the government will continue to encourage use of industrial building systems and alternative building technologies that are faster, minimize costs, of high quality, and environmentally friendly.
On these different social programs. So the
UN Habitat, which has its regional headquarters in Nairobi, due attention to the areas through which they can make meaningful contribution to the affordable housing agenda. This was done through the UN Habitat Senior Human Settlement Officer, Dr. Thomas Chiramba.
One of the areas where we can support you is through innovative designs, not only of the housing and urban settlements themselves, but also in crafting financial measures that would also be accessible to the least privileged or to the low income. We can also contribute towards planning measures and also helping you to emphasize the fact that we should not only look at houses, but we should look at living spaces more broadly. We can support you by giving advice or showing other best practices in terms of policy or institutional arrangements that have been put in place to deliver on such mass houses from all over the world.
Somebody looking at it? Yes.
Implementation of the housing plan will be the only pointer to its success, and to this regard, the chairman of Kara, Richard Nyaga, had this to say.
We are, of course, aware that there has been previous attempts to provide adequate housing for most Kenyans. Those who remember the Vision 2030, the provision had been made there for providing 200,000 units annually for all income levels. Unfortunately, we are not able to achieve this goal. I guess there are many competing interests within the government, but we hope that this time we can beat that record.
Theodore Foundation Programs Manager, Mr.
As the country waits in bated breath for the implementation of affordable housing project, all hopes are that it will see the light of the day within the scope provided. Reporting for Brand Plus TV, I am Korari John Wombugu.
Guaranteed off-taker. So you, for example, I always say,